Okay, today we're learning about, we're learning section 6.1, solving equations by addition and subtraction. And the good thing is it really isn't very different than what we've done before. In a lot of ways, it's very similar to solving equations by addition and subtraction. For instance, if we have the equation s minus 12 is greater than 65, okay? If that had been an equal sign, we would simply add 12 to both sides, and that's what we do also with an inequality. So we add 12 to both sides, so s is greater than 77. Okay, another example, if we have 12 is greater than or equal to y minus 9, the idea is to get y by itself, so we'd add 9 to both sides. And we would get 21 is greater than or equal to y, which is the same thing as y is less, excuse me, I have to change that. I started to write the wrong thing there. Y is less than or equal to 21. Okay, one thing that will be just slightly different than what we have done in the past is that now we're going to be asked to graph the solution on a number line. So the number line would simply look, if we just drew a piece of the number line here, if 77 was in the middle and we had 76, 75, 78, and 79, okay, to graph s is greater than 77, we would put an open circle at 77, and then we would shade everything then to the right of that. Okay, so I would shade everything to the right because s isn't just 77. Matter of fact, s can't be 77. S has to be greater than 77. That's why we show an open circle, because the solution is not 77. It has to be a number greater than that. So I would shade the number line to the right for all numbers that are greater than 77. Looking at the example over here on the other side of the screen, we came up with a solution of y is less than or equal to 21. So if I just made a number line with a few numbers around 21, we would see that, first of all, since this is less than or equal to 21, 21 is part of the solution set. So when I graph this, I'm going to put a solid dot at 21, and then I'm going to shade all the numbers that are less than that. Okay, and I want to show that that pattern continues, so I would bold the arrow there at the end. Okay, so basically if it's, we'll go to another screen and we'll just jot down a few notes about this. Okay, if it's less than or greater than, then when you graph it, you graph with an open circle. And if it is, sorry, it doesn't, and then if it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, then you'll graph with a solid circle. Okay, and the way that it goes depends upon, the way you shade depends upon what, is going on in that particular problem. If we think about the examples before, if we have something like y is less than or equal to 21, my arrow that I drew on the graph went in the same direction as the inequality symbol. And the other one, let's see, s was greater than 77. That also, open circle, and it went in the same direction as the inequality symbol. So if your variable is on the left-hand side, then your arrow that you graph should be going in the same direction as the inequality symbol. A couple of other things to keep in mind. The book likes to use what they call set builder notation to express the answers. And it's just another way of expressing the answer. But what they do is instead of just putting y is greater than or equal to 21, what they do is they open up a bracket and then they put the variable there and a line, and then they put y is less than or equal to 21. Okay? And then same thing over here for s is greater than 77. I would simply put the variable s and then a line, and then I go ahead and put my solution. S is greater than 77. Okay? So the book does give all of its answers in set builder notation, so that's what we're going to do too. Make sure at the end that you put your answer in set builder notation. Okay, the last thing that I just want to mention is that there will be some problems where you will have to take a verbal sentence and make it into an algebraic inequality. Okay, so it's good to know what some of these numbers mean. If you see, for instance, is no more than, okay, in a sentence, like for instance, it tells you that 4 times a number is no more than 3 times another number plus 8. Then the words is no more than means that you should use the less than or equal to symbol. If you were to see at least in a sentence, okay, that means that it would be greater than or equal to. If you were to see, let's see, what are some other examples? At most, that's another good one that they like to use a lot. It's at most that number. That means it's less than or equal to the number. So just keep that in mind when you're doing numbers 40 to 44, where you're taking a sentence and you're writing out the inequality that represents that sentence. And that's it for today.